the other day online that reminded me of something that we should all keep in mind, especially if we want to create social change in the world. And it's this idea of paying it forward. The other day while I was watching a video of Tiffany Haddix winning an award, I was really moved to think about this concept. So if you aren't aware right now, Tiffany Haddix won the Grammy the other day for Best Comedy Album. She was the first woman to win that category in a number of years. Actually, only the sixth woman ever to win that. But the first black woman to win that award in 34 years. And the last one to win it before her was Whoopi Goldberg. It was an incredible moment because she found out while filming a show live on the set of Kids Say the Darndest Things, and she happened to have two black young girls next to her. So she finds out on the air, right, or while recording, I should say, and doesn't really believe it. Her producer is telling her, you just won a Grammy, and confirming this for her. And at that moment, Tiffany takes it upon herself to pay forward what I believe has been done for her in the past. So a moment that could have been all about her, something that she could have gone into herself and said, wow, I did this. This is incredible for me. She turned into a teachable moment to share immediately with the two young black girls who were sitting next to her. So she goes on to tell them that a woman hasn't won in that category in a number of years since Whoopi Goldberg, and asked the girls if they knew this, and the girls did. And then from there, she goes on to tell them that anything is possible, right? That you have to say to yourself, I'm going to put my best foot forward, and I'm going to believe in myself, and that you can do it. So she uses this moment to empower these young girls, to tell them that they too can accomplish the things that they want to accomplish in their own lives. As I was watching, I was really struck by just how genuine her response was, and how immediately she turned to say, how can I make this moment not about me, but about these two young girls who are right here, who are the future as well. That whole experience, watching that short clip, it was 1.5 minutes long, made me think about this concept of paying it forward, and how it's actually a valuable thing to keep in mind as we try to create change in the world overall. We want to go about making sure that our society is a place that we can all live in. And some of us are thinking about, how can we do that? What's the best application of ourselves in order to make that happen? But one of the things that we can keep in mind is people have done great things for us in the past. Interestingly, for Tiffany Haddix, the person she calls her Hollywood mama was Whoopi Goldberg, who was the last and only other black woman to ever win this award. And so in some way, I believe there was a level of mentorship that came along with that role, with that relationship, which Tiffany is parlaying forward toward these two young girls. I'm sure there were other people in her life empowering her and encouraging her, saying, you can do this as well. And she's paying that forward in this moment to ensure that these girls have an opportunity to understand that they too have the power to create change in their own lives, or at least accomplish their own dreams. So the question for you, as you go about creating change in the world, as you go about building yourself into the person you want to be, as you go about expressing yourself into the world the way that you'd like to, is what is it that you need to pay forward? What is it that you would like to pay forward? And as you think about this, think about who did things for you that you'd like to make sure are done for others. Is it in the area of education? Did you have a teacher who was really great for you, or maybe a tutor or an older sibling or someone like that who was really great for you and helped educate you, and you can play that role for someone else? You can educate them, you can tutor them, you can teach them things, you can help them, you can join Big Brothers, Big Sisters, something like that, where you can make an impact similar to the one that was made on you. Is it in parenting? I know that this is the model I use when I think about parenting in a lot of ways. My parents, I'm so blessed to have these fantastic parents who put everything they had into me, even though they didn't always have a ton. And because of it, I've come out with so many lessons and so many quality experiences from spending my time with them. So as I think about raising my son, Cairo, I think about what I want to give him, what I had and more. Right? I want to pay forward what my parents gave me to make sure that he has it as well. Is it in the job field? Did you have a mentor or someone else who was there to help guide you as you were growing up? Maybe that was a professor. Maybe it was someone who was on the job that you joined. Maybe it was someone you became friends with. Maybe it was a janitor that you got to know who was there as a source of comfort, right? The role that someone occupied before that gave you value doesn't have to be the exact same one that you occupy to give value in the future, but the role that they played itself as a comforter, as a mentor, as an advisor, as a helper, as a shoulder to cry on. You can be that for someone else. The question just is, which role do you want to occupy? What do you want to pay forward? What do you want to make sure you carry forward to the next generation to make sure that that chain isn't broken and that others can become their best selves as well? All right, that's my session of Social Impact Live today. Pay it forward. It's a powerful mindset to keep in mind and really gets down to the core of who we are and what we care about and also what we've experienced. In many ways, what we've experienced as being really good for us and paying that forward gives us a deep understanding of how valuable it is and possibly how to do that well for someone else. So don't underestimate the value of that skill, and I will see you tomorrow with another episode of Social Impact Live. If you like this, like, follow, subscribe.